Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Giants. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. So here are the Cowboys now backed up to get this drive started. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott. The first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 15 now. Prescott, quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 31, Prescott, and his pass incomplete. And the defense for New York.
When you say the name Richard Sherman, you get a wide variety of reactions. All I know is that when I watch him play, very few false steps, an excellent understanding of what offenses are trying to do.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. This is fielded at the 7. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Tighten up, tighten up. There. Hey, check 24, check 2.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And a big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. So a decent gain.
Still 2nd down.
But all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now they'll throw here. Out they go. It's complete downfield, out left to his running back. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd and 2. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down. Some early fireworks from this rookie quarterback getting the start in Week 1.
And every time a rookie quarterback gets to start Week 1, you and I both know the extra attention that comes with it. We know that he's going to throw the football, but will he make the right decisions? And in this case, with his legs, he showed the defense there's an extra dynamic to his game.
Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
218, chop it. 5.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Elliott on 1st down, going absolutely nowhere as he'll lose about 3 on the play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. New York set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they got out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Shoves him away. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They'll run on first down. Childress. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
70, Indy. Rock it. Rush in. Let's go.
A first down carry for Barkley. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. That catch good for 5. It's third down. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scout.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field. Yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw is Prescott. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
They've been playing sound football. Defense thus far, and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. That's complete to Slayton. Well, he is out of bounds inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On 1st down, Childress. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run with Barkley, looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
On the double. Mike 54. Gone. Kill. No. Off. Ready.
On third down, Childress. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And Rosas puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Draw play, Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And that's Elliott, complete.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Lachlan Edwards in.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Plenty of good games to choose from in that early window. We'll highlight the one down in Tampa. A big test for the Bucs at home as they'll host the Washington Redskins. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down to the 7-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 53 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. He'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, team 6, 5.
They'll look to throw here. Pass incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
57, Mike, 57. Here we go, D, get off the field. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Topper. Hey, Delta. Shoot.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
Rosa's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 7 yards on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. New York set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 36.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
They'll set up to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Watch the curve.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
57's the mic.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction. Yeah,
a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Again, it's Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Prescott down. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. One receiver to the left is Cooper.
Come on, let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Prescott. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Giants are going to get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And to give this time to the tailback. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williamson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Exit.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And his throw is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Giants on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, wahoo! 57's the mic. Hit it.
Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On the set. Check right 54. Right 54. 3 bud. Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Hey, watch the leg. Hey, get it.
They're going to look to throw.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's go. Kill.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 16 in the Dallas first down. Prescott to throw it. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Well, this is how you... And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero.
The previous play is under
You're going slow clap on me.
That's not very nice. Complete to number 19, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Dallas.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Bailey as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. He'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Giants, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.